This will be the last video in our series. Welcome, by the way. And in this video, we are going to talk about one last property of matrices, something called a determinant. Now, this is not to be confused with the word discriminant, which talks about a piece of the quadratic equation. This is called a determinant, and every matrix that is square has a determinant. Okay, so a determinant, first of all, if we talk about the determinant of A, we could either label that as being det of A, like this, or another way that we denote the determinant of A is with vertical bars and an A. So notice the difference between these vertical bars and the brackets that we use for the matrix. These don't have the little pieces on the ends kind of going on the inside. This is just a straight vertical bar on either side. This says the determinant of A. Okay, and we're going to, again, just like we did with inverses, we're going to talk about how to find a determinant of a 2x2 matrix by hand, and then we're going to talk about how to use the calculator to find determinants for us, especially for matrices that are bigger than 2x2. So if we have a matrix A that looks like a 2x2 matrix, we'll look at first how to find a determinant by hand. Maybe the matrix A looks like 1, 3, 4, 7. Okay, so here is our matrix, and with the full brackets on it like this, if we were to find the determinant of A with just the vertical bars like this, the formula looks like, if this is A, again, D, B, and C, just like it was in the last video when we found inverses, we've actually seen this formula show up. The determinant looks like A times D minus B times C. Okay, so A times D minus B times C. This is the same formula that shows up in the inverse in the denominator of the fraction of an inverse of a matrix. And some people like to do this little cross multiplying here thing because it reminds you of cross multiplying in equations, but we want to make sure that we keep in mind it's A times D and then minus B times C. So it's not B times C and then minus A times D. We have to keep the order in mind there. So when we find the determinant of A, in this example up above we have the matrix 1, 3, 4, 7. The determinant would look like 1 times 7 minus 3 times 4. So that would be 7 minus 12, which the determinant then would be -5. Okay, so we won't go into a ton of detail. We'll leave this for some later classes if you need to go on and take some more linear algebra type of stuff. But the determinant is going to be a very useful feature to find. In fact, we already talked about one application of the determinant, which is that this determinant shows up when we talk about the formula for inverses. So somehow the determinant also relates to inverses. But like I said, we won't go into a lot of detail there. So if we have a matrix B, that's a 2x2 matrix, and it looks like, so here's our matrix 3, -2, 4, -5. The determinant of B, so here's one way to denote the determinant of B. Another way is to say the determinant, det of B, these two things mean the same thing, is to, again, do A times D minus B times C. So we would have 3 times -5 minus -2 times 4. So we have -15, and then we have a double negative here. This would be +8, which gives you a -7 overall. So we happen to get a negative value for both of these determinants, but we can get positive values, we can get 0, and based on what we get for the determinant, that will tell us some other properties about the matrix. Okay, so this is how you find the determinant of a 2x2 matrix. We're going to say if A is, the determinant of A would look like A, D minus B, C in general. Now, when we have matrices that are bigger than 2x2, we're going to use our calculators to help us find these determinants. So let's say, for example, we have the matrix B, which is going to be a 3x3 matrix. and it looks like 0, 1, 3, negative 2, 4, 9, 8, negative 5, and 1. So there's our matrix B. We'd like to be able to find the determinant of this thing, and again, that's going to tell us about whether or not B has an inverse and some other properties as well. To find this by hand, there's still a way to be able to do it with a 3x3 matrix. When you get higher than a 3x3 matrix, it becomes incredibly difficult to do by hand. And even a 3x3 matrix is doable by hand, but is a little bit tedious. We do have the calculator. We're going to use it in this class at least, so we might as well use the calculator to find the determinant. So if we're looking for the determinant of B, or again, another way to say that is these vertical bars of B, we are going to just go ahead and type B into our calculator. It's going to be a 3x3 matrix. And we're going to just type it in as 0, 1, 3, negative 2, 4, 9, 8, negative 5, and 1. There we go. So now we have the matrix B typed in here. And so we're going to do, notice up at the top, we said earlier in one of the earlier videos that under the math command up here, there are a lot of different options for some different properties of matrices. We really haven't used any of these yet. Okay, some of these refer to row reducing, which is something that we could talk about. We're not going to do that here, but you'll notice the first command is DET, and that is the determinant, like you might hope it is. So DET is what we're going to hit, and then we're going to go back to the matrix and do DET of B. Let's close our parentheses, and this will find the determinant of B. And notice for the determinant, we're not getting out a matrix. When we did when we found an inverse, or when we added things together, when we multiplied things together, when we multiplied matrices together, we got out another matrix. The determinant, though, is just a number. So we're going to get out the number 8 here as our determinant of B. So pretty straightforward to type this into our calculator if we have a matrix that's larger than 2 by 2. If we have a 2 by 2 matrix, it looks like A times D minus B times C, and anything larger, we can just plug it in here. Thank you for watching these videos. I hope you've enjoyed them, and this will help you in your homework with matrices. And I hope you're able to learn a lot, do some practice, and become a matrix master.